Hey guys, so I want to start off by recommending a YouTube channel to you guys. The YouTube channel is Scott J. Garibay, I believe. Scott Garibay. He's an average YouTuber like myself, who is a supporter of Yang, and he runs really great political analysis videos on Andrew Yang and just the general Democratic Party right now. So he talks about like the nitty gritty of like how Yang is like strategizing and like maneuvering everything and what he is doing well, what he could be doing better, and just all that fun stuff about all that jazz. So I'll link his description in the I'll link the channel link in the description below so you guys can check him out. For me personally, I won't do that stuff. Like honestly, like I'm just like a fangirl, just like expressing my like crazy ass views and just like getting my emotions out. It's almost like a video diary. It's me just talking to you guys, just a relaxed, chill way usually. So yeah. So I went to the New York rally yesterday with my friend Jack. Luckily, everything went pretty well. Like we took the bus, so obviously when you take the bus, like you really gotta make sure you're like on time to make it, and like everything like that. Luckily, we didn't miss the bus. Like both either way, like going to New York and we're from Delaware. Technically, I was born in Philadelphia, but I've lived most of my life in Delaware. So yes, that was that. So like to get to the nitty gritty of it, when we first got there, I never went to Washington Square Park before. So when I got there, I was like, oh snap, here we are, cool. And then it was about like 4:30, maybe about like 4:30 p.m. I wanted to get there really early because I wanted to get like a spot up front in the crowd. So when we got there, we were just I saw people scattered. I saw like some booths lying around. I was like, oh snap, those are probably where they're gonna like give out like the flyers, I guess, the little like signs that say like math or Andrew Yang or Yang Gang. And indeed they were that and among other things. So my goal is okay, like let's just go over there to the booth. But then this gentleman named Grant, shout out, I think that's your name. Yeah, shout out Grant. I almost said like Brian, because I like his private, like, because he had like this like a jacket or something that was covering his name tag. So I was like, what's your name, Brian? Oh no, it was Grant. Okay, sorry. But anyways, he like had checked us in. Because we had like when you set up Eventbrite, you have like the little like square scanny thing that they apparently scan to keep track of who is coming in, who RSVP'd and made it. So we did that, and then Grant gave both of us like a flyer that said Yang Gang, and then pins. I should have had it here. Sorry, I don't have it right now, but like it's like the pins that you've seen, like the little Yang like symbol and the circle and all that stuff. So I was like, okay. So we got that covered, bam. So walked some more, and I was like, okay, where is like where is Yang gonna be like staged at? Like, where's the stage? So that was the next uh plans. Like, hey, like where's the stage first of all? So when we first got into the park, I noticed that like on the left hand side, that's where most of the commotion was happening. So I was like, okay, let's go to the left hand side. And then on the left hand side, sure enough, there was a stage, and like the booths were mainly over there. So I was like, okay, it's nice, good. And then we saw like some gates and stuff. So I was like, okay, like I see gates and I see a stage. So and I see like some people like in there, like just like kind of like just scattered around, but not a lot. Like maybe like 10 people like in the actual like the main like crowd area. So I was like, okay, let's just go in there. That's where like the crowd's gonna be. So like let's go in there. I know it was like an hour and 30 minutes earlier, but this is how you get a good spot. If you just secure your secure your spot early, and then wait. I don't mind waiting. Let me tell you something. I've been to enough conventions to know that you're gonna have to wait, to have some fun. For instance, I went to VidCon 2000, I believe 2015. I think it was 2015. You have to wait in line to get your ticket. You have to wait in line to see, like, meet the YouTubers. I met like Markiplier and Miles J and such. And then you had to, like for that. That's a lot of waiting. Okay, which I love. I actually love doing that stuff, anyways. And then I've been to KCON, which is the K-pop convention. Convention center or event, and you have to wait, at least when I was there, like this is back when like the systems were different, but you have to wait to in line to wait for the concert, basically. That and among other things. So yeah, like this was no big deal. Like an hour and 30 minutes, please. We just spent like 3 hours on a bus. Like that ain't no big deal. And plus, I'm so excited. I'm like, I can't wait. So, and then so yeah. So at that point, the weather was fine. Like it kept raining. Like not even that hard. Like kind of on and off. At that point, it had stopped, but it was still very cloudy. So I thought, okay, like maybe we'll be okay here. Foreshadowing, we are not going to be okay, but we'll get there. But yes, so sorry, my mic was crooked. So while we were just waiting, like I was like against the gate. Like you can probably see me in like some videos that people had took, but like I was wearing like the navy blue merch with Yang's face on it, with like a black beanie and a black turtleneck. And all that stuff. So you could probably see me in like some stuff. I didn't take that many pictures because it was raining and I didn't want my stuff to get wet. So sorry about that. But I said like the picture with me and Jack on Twitter. I did. I'll link my Twitter down below too. But yes, so it was just really risky. So yeah. So anyways, like when we were waiting, I was like, okay, like I may want to talk to some like people here because just to mingle, whatever. I'm not really good at it. I'm kind of like an introvert. It takes a lot for me to like really get the courage to like go up and talk to people. But I just started off by just like vlogging some of it. Like I don't even know if I'll like show the vlog. Let me know if you guys want like to see like some of the stuff that I vlogged yesterday. If you don't, that's totally fine. But like I did vlog some stuff. But yeah, when I was like vlogging like in the front of the crowd, or the crowd that hasn't formed yet, but like the gate, I noticed somebody was also like vlogging too. I was like, oh snap, vlogging people, yay, here we go, we're vlogging. And apparently it was like one of the people that was in the New York Yang Gang like a volunteer committee or something. Like she seemed pretty like excited. So I was like, yes, bam. And I told her, I was from Delaware, and she's like, oh, you're Delaware Yang Gangsters. I was like, yes, we are. So yeah, that was pretty cute. But yeah, I mean, again, we waited for about an hour and a half for Yang. So that was nice. And when the crowd kept like slowly forming, I was like, oh, I'm so glad we got here early because yeah. By like 5:30 it was like the crowd was like there. But yes, the only thing that like I guess kind of was like, not, doesn't even suck, but the only thing that I wish I could like know is how many people were there. Like I wanted to see like the whole, like I just wish I could just like be tall enough to like and be like, I want to see everybody who's there, because I know the crowd was like super big. I don't know the number, but like it must have been really big, like thousands of people, so yes. So of course you guys probably know about like the hecklers that were there. Like they didn't really bother me, most of them. Like for instance, there was a young lady that had a flag that was like kind of like, if you can imagine the American flag, where the stars are, it had just like her flag just had like a white sign that said LGBTQ plus, I think, for Trump. And then you can imagine the American flag had like red and white stripes, but this, for her flag, it was the rainbow stripes, so like pretty much all the colors, all the main colors of the rainbow, right? So, so me and Jack were like, "Oh, that's interesting." Like, it wasn't even like, "Oh, that's interesting." It's like, no, like, listen, this is a free freaking country, like, and I don't know, like for people like for us, like, Jack is not that big of a Yang Gang like person. He's more about like Tulsi Gabbard, which I'm okay with her being like the vice president. By the way, like, it's totally fine. But even he was like, well, I mean, like, sure, like, say what you want, like, girl, like, he was just more curious to know, like, what is her story, like, why is she here, like, what brought her to this point of, like, I guess she might be a part of the LGBT community, and she's for Trump, and she's kind of like, protesting against Yang in a way, or just like, I guess it is protesting against. That sounds too harsh, but I guess that's the only way to explain it. So yes, I thought that was interesting. She didn't bother me, but because she wasn't like loud or obnoxious. She just was like talking or like to other people or waving the flag. Now I have seen like the Twitter video of like that guy like just like kind of shouting yang gang to her, which I was like, okay, that's a bit much, but at least nobody was like hurting her or like and like physically hurting her, like it wasn't like verbal abuse necessarily. The guy was just hyped up and stuff, and she must have known that you when you come out with that strong of a statement, you expect a strong reaction. That's all I'm saying. So yes. Then of course, like, as time went on, it was like maybe like I would say like 5:55, let's say. Then she actually went to like where the stage is. Like, imagine I'm in front of this, looking at the stage. Behind the stage, I see like the street of like New York, and then she is like waving her flag back there. And then there is another gentleman, older a gentleman. He is also waving a Trump flag that's way different. It's like a red, white, and blue flag, and it's like kind of fancy. Honestly, it's pretty like cool flag, if I have to admit. But I was like, okay, like, sure, whatever, like, y'all trying to use this moment to like let Trump shine, or like, you want take it, like, kind of like take it away from Yang. I understand, like, it's what it is. At that point I was like, okay, like, I didn't know like this. I know I did not expect like that, just those kind of reactions, but it definitely made sense. I'm like, okay, makes sense. People, Yang has almost like a cult like following, so I can understand when people are like, kind of alarmed by it in a way. They're like, what is happening here? So let's bring us to the third heckler. And that was the guy, I did not see his face at all, but it was definitely a guy. Sounded like a middle-aged guy, and he was saying, for the most part, he was saying "fuck Yang," like loudly, like just screaming it out, like over and over repeatedly. And then I was like, that's very interesting. Like, now you get into like the point where you're kind of being rude, but it's still your right. It's still your freedom of speech. You're not hurting anybody necessarily. I mean, honestly, at that point, I was like, okay, well, I guess Yang is a good sign, because it shows that Yang is big enough to have, like, haters to, like, go out of their way to protest against them, or at least to lash out against him and and us, by proxy. So I was like, okay, like, now this person's fucking annoying me, because now, like, I'm being distracted by him. Like, I can't. But just calm down and just get, be civil and accept that's how people are, and that's that. He kept going for the most of it up until I think it started to rain really hard. I think most of the hecklers, or like Trump people, kind of like went away when it started raining very hard. Like while Yang was uh, actually talking. And by the way, the guy was saying "fuck Yang" while like people were doing their poems. While like I think the previous mayor of New Hampshire was there too, and then while Yang was doing his speech. But it's a good thing that like Yang, he's a very like powerful, very loud speaker, so you really can hear the heckler that much when Yang was speaking, so that was good. We'll get into like Yang and like he's such a great speaker, just like so freaking compelling. We're almost there, guys. So yes, the actual like event started like 6:10, but they started to open up for Yang. Like I said, there's two people that had did poems, that spoke their poems, was really good. And then there were the comedic act, the Bad Asians. I had no idea who they were, but they were pretty funny. I have to look them up too because they did really well. I thought they were pretty funny too. Those two guys, the Bad Asians. And then the girl, the woman from from Chicago, I think, which I had seen her on YouTube as well, open up for Yang. I think it was in Chicago, I think. And then the preacher lady, and then she opened up for him too. I think I'm missing somebody, but like, of course, like the main girl that like isn't, I don't know her name, but the main girl that was in charge of like, Yang's like this whole thing, she also talked to. Yeah. And then they wanted us to do like this thing on our phones, to pretty much like, God, I forget what it's called, but it's to help spread awareness to like Yang, and recommend people that we know to donate to him. Which I mean, it's fine. Like for me, like I have donated like $15 one time, and then I got this shirt from his website, which was $25. So I mean, like this is the best I could do. Honestly, if I could do more, I would. Trust me, I would. I'm broke AF. So, so for me, I'm like, I don't know anybody that would really want to donate to him. Not even like like my friend, like Jack. I don't even think he would want to necessarily. Like I said, he likes Yang, but not that much. It's a lot to ask somebody for money, in general, especially for a political candidate. So I just figured me doing these videos and like just helping spread the awareness and just like talking and stuff is also very effective, and will make a difference, hopefully. So yes. Oh boy. So yeah, after all that, and when like, oh yeah, and I got interviewed by somebody too. I don't know if that's gonna be on any like kind of like channel or video or TV or whatever, but I did get interviewed by somebody, briefly, which is interesting. So I was like right up front. There were people that were like, this guy who was interviewing like a couple of people that were up front, just about like, why are you here? Like, how'd you know Yang? Like, how old are you? Like stuff like that. But yeah, so while like people were taking pictures and videos and like hyping the crowd up, and like every time like the people would like scream, oh yeah, that's another thing too. The lady that was in charge of, I think, Yang's campaign, she was asking us, oh, do you guys want to like go up in the back to like wave your signs behind Yang? I'm like, oh my god, yes, I would want to do that. And I was like, oh wait, hold up, I can't, because I have to make sure I make this bus, and I have to make sure I can leave, because like I don't want to like just walk out like while he's still talking, because like we have to leave like as soon as the thing ended. Like literally, like not even like 8. We had to leave at like 7. Okay. So I'm like, oh, so I knew like from like the rallies that I had watched on YouTube, which I watched like all of them. I know that like Yang, usually, his speeches are usually like 30 minutes to like 50 minutes at most. So I'm like, okay, hopefully he doesn't like do a speech for like an hour, because like I really have to freaking go and catch our bus. Trust me, if I could stay, I would. Like, honestly, I wish I lived in New York to be part of the New York Yang Gang. I really, really, really do. Oh, it sucks being in Delaware. But, I'll do the best I can to support him. I really will. So, yes, one day. I just want to like talk to him and meet him. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, anytime when like the crowd had screamed or like chanted or something, my friend Jack will always like ask me like, "Oh, is Yang here?" I'm like, "No, he's not here." Like, I'll let you know when he's here. You will know when I start freaking out like crazy girl. And they kept asking me that like 20 times. I'm like, Jack, I can't. Like, I'm already nervous right now. I have to focus on what's happening around me. I have to stay tuned on where he is. I don't know where he's gonna come in. I don't know. I just don't know anything. So then, like, while I believe the mayor of the former mayor of New Hampshire, or the governor, I think it's the governor, the former person of New Hampshire. Sorry, guys, of New Hampshire. While he was talking, he was like wrapping up. I just see Yang just up here near the steps of the stage. I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like pointing. I'm like, oh my God, that's him. And Jack's like, oh, is that him? I'm like, dude, if I say that's him, that is him. Okay? I didn't say all that. But I'm like, yes, it's him. I was like, holy shit, like he's real. What? I was like, what? No. Oh my God, dude. So yeah, that happened. And I was like, oh my, and at that point, like the whole crowd started just chanting, yeah, oh no, Andrew Yang, Andrew Yang, Andrew Yang. And then like the guy wasn't even like finished speaking. Like we just saw him and then we all just freaked out. And then I think like the back of the crowd knew that he was there at that point, so like they started freaking out. I'm just like, oh my God, dude, I can't. And luckily, the mayor did a really good job, or the previous governor or whoever. He did a really good job opening up for Yang. Even, with the heckler shouting "fuck Yang" like 20,000 times, he still did a really good job, and I respect him for being there. And this is just amazing. He did an amazing job. And when I saw Yang like near the stage, he was like just like ready to go. Like he was like shaking and stuff. I was like, oh my God, like he is so happy. I am so pumped for him. You get it, dude. So I was like, oh my God, I can't do this right now. So he didn't go for too much longer. He was like 30 seconds later, he was like, okay, now ladies, for next president of the United States, Andrew Yang. And we're like, yes. Oh my God. And then I will link down below the full like his full speech. But yeah, from there on, well, actually no, he may have, I think he didn't even get on stage. I think he just like went straight to the crowd and started like high-fiving people, because that's how he does. I've seen him do that before, so I figured he might do that. When he actually did it, I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna like see him. Oh my God, he's gonna come closer. So then like, I gave like him a high five. He started going like around, and then he came back to go to the other side of the crowd, and then I like high fived him again. I was like, yeah, it's like 2 high fives from him. Oh, I wish I would have gotten on camera, but at that point, like I think it was still like sprinkling raining. I didn't want to keep my camera out, and plus I just was like so like in the moment. I didn't even register. It didn't even register to me to even like take a picture or like videotape it. But girl, it happened, dude. So yes, and like the crowd went wild. I was like, oh my God, dude, it's happening. It's happening. So yeah. And then at that point he went back on stage and he started saying like, how beautiful are you? And I was like, yes, I love when you say that. It's so amazing when you say that. Because we all are beautiful. We all are. Even the hecklers. Okay, so yeah, and the speech was very concise, because it was like sprinkling kind of like, and he didn't get wet 'cause he was like underneath like this like him and the people behind him holding the rally flags. They were under this like structure that kept them dry, but like us like out in the rain, we're just like, oh shit, like it's kind of getting a little bit hard, like after like 10 minutes it started raining a little bit harder, and we, for the most part, we all did like keep our umbrellas away because we didn't want to block the views of anybody behind us to see Yang, because there was no like projection like screen of him. It was just him. So either you saw him or you didn't. But yeah, but like after a while, like we were like, okay, like let's put up our umbrellas. I didn't because like I was like, cause literally like I was in the front, like against the gate, and my umbrella's pretty big and it's white, so I didn't want to bring that out, even though I was drenched, dude. Like, it got to the point where like my sign, I wanted to like keep the sign for keepsake, but like my Yang Gang sign was like just falling apart in my hand, just crumbling. I'm like, oh my god, no, no. I want to keep holding it, but I can't because it's like gonna fall away because of the rain. Okay. But yeah, I didn't care about really being wet, but it got really distracting. Like I was like, oh my god, dude, this is raining so fucking hard. So I was like, fuck, dude, there's a lot here. But I think Yang definitely like wrapped it up quicker than he usually does because of that, because he didn't want us to like struggle too much. And like the press down below, they were struggling too. Like they were like they had like plastic on their cameras, or like they had umbrellas, holding umbrellas and their camera, and or they had like a shirt covering their camera. I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like they weren't really prepared for this either. Like it was gonna rain, but not that hard. So yes, I wish it was longer, but then again, like I'm glad it wasn't short, because like first of all we had to make the bus. Second of all, it was raining so hard and it was really cold too. My hands got really cold too. I was like, "Fuck, dude, like this is a lot here." Like, okay, all right, the things I do for love, the things I do for Yang. Okay, so yes, yeah. And then when I like my friend Jack, he was actually really impressed by how Yang memorized like his speech so well. Like he thought that he was gonna use like a PowerPoint or like something, had like notes or something. But I'm like, no. I told him before he started. I'm like, no. He actually starts. He knows everything from the top of his head. Like he just knows what he's talking about. To the point where he can even like he can hit all the points that he needs to hit. For example, who is he, why he's running, what's UBI, and his other policies, Medicare for all, single payer healthcare, getting rid of DDP, and then talking about, it's all the, like all of that stuff. He hits all those points, right? Um, but I noticed in his rallies that he won't like remember. It's not like as a speech that he memorizes. He'll just like bring up these events or these points organically, and just he knows how to link them all together in a way that like tells a cohesive story. And you can picture, okay, like I understand where this guy is coming from, and it's freaking amazing, and it's so compelling. And he's just like a charming dude. So yes, I loved it. He wrapped it up. After he was done, he, was like high fiving the people behind him, which in that case, I do wish I was behind him for that, because I don't know. I just wanted to say, like, I did say, like, oh, like, I don't know what I even said. I said, like, hey, like, you're doing a good job, Yang, when he, like, when I high fived him or something like that. But I just, man. It's like, it's hard. Like, you can't even, like, say everything you want to say to him, like, in like, just one, like, phrase or something. Like, it's just he just means so much to me, and I'm sure to a lot of you guys too. You know. Whew. So yeah, man, that is just my general experience at the rally. I'm glad I went. I'm glad that everything went pretty smoothly. Nobody died. Nobody got arrested, as far as I know. And yeah, I just had a good time with my friend Jack. It's a good time in New York. I like going to New York. I hate how dirty it is, but like it still is like fine to be there. So yeah. Okay, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Alright, guys. 안녕. Bye. See you next time.